John, let me hear from you because Rashid is just telling us that you equally have concerns with the Electoral Commission.
Politics.
Honorable.
Sometimes it's just interesting the way.
So it's not true.
The way we do this to ourselves. Look, we have a topic. Your main concern is the Chief Justice's decisions that no prima facie case was made against the Electoral Commission. I think that we should just focus on that because he's throwing a lot of red herrings, and I'm surprised, you allowed him to do that. Some of the issues he raised, for instance, talking about transfer of votes. Votes are transferred, all the time in electoral processes. People request for it, and the Electoral Commission, from time to time, does that. What happens is that after some time, people move. People move from region to different regions, or even from one constituency to the other, and generally believe that on the day of the election, they cannot, go to that old constituency, and so they request for their votes to be transferred. And it's across the country. No constituency is denied. And so there are movements of, people from all over the country. And EC does this. I'm surprised my brother says that amounts to gerrymandering. I asked myself, is that what gerrymandering means? It has nothing to do with gerrymandering. Maybe go and find a different word. This is not gerrymandering. In gerrymandering, you are talking about manipulation of electoral boundaries. That is what it's called. If somebody is transferring his vote from Kumasi to Accra, that is definitely not gerrymandering. The Electoral Commission then set out to do that. But I understand him in a way, because when you're in opposition, you have to flag every issue and make a mountain. If it's a molehill, you make a mountain out of it. And that's what the NDC succeeded in doing. What happened, if we want to go back, to history, for me, it's not necessary. I think what is good is that the Chief Justice saw the need to look at the petition in legal sense. And as we sit here, we don't know the petition, we don't know his reasons. All we have been told is that he said that the case brought against the Electoral Commission doesn't meet the minimum threshold for investigation to continue. That is all we know. And so what about all these? You're talking about SAL,
and I'm sure you've heard that SAL conversation too. The fact that once it's out there that a group of people could not vote or were not allowed to vote in the last elections, then the chairperson should be taking responsibility for that.
Well, see, something I can understand. Then we have to be very consistent. That if you have a president supervising the reduction of cocoa prices for over 1 million Ghanaians, from 3,500 to 2,500, we have a president who is supervising this. In fact, this was announced after, I believe, after the meeting. There was a cabinet meeting. So the president directed the Minister for Finance to come and address the people of Ghana to tell us that the cocoa farmers, the farm gate price should be reduced. Should the president resign? Should the president resign for that? So if you're going to do this, then everything can be stretched. That because you were held of this, you did that, so you should be held responsible. There can be so many reasons. I my brother Solo was talking about the fact that he would rather the president is blamed because he should have directed his local government minister, to do the necessary.
You recall Godfrey Dami was on the floor of Parliament trying to explain how that difficulty came about in the SAL case. And so don't you see the need for the previous administration, the government, to take responsibility for that? In fact, the Chief Justice's opinion, I'm going by that green paper we all saw, he indicated that there were serious issues of administrative concern in his opinion, although, the chairperson should not be be held responsible for any of these.
Oh, have you seen the reasons? Because I haven't seen.
Oh, there's a green paper going around pointing to the fact that yes, well,
I haven't seen it.
Well, okay. So there's no prima facie, but there are,
me last night over this.
but it says that there are serious administrative issues happening there too.
Yeah, I mean,
so don't you feel that that's where Solo is coming from? That, that the president should have, President Akufo-Addo should take responsibility for knowing that you're going to create new districts, you're going to create new areas. You should have started that way in time.
Well, I mean, that is an argument that can be made. Now, you know, the horse has left the stables already. All these are issues, you know, when something happens months or years after the issue, you can always go back, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. But so governance is a lot of moving parts. And so at the time, I'm sure there were valid reasons why this thing couldn't go on. But the truth is that I am happy that the CJ came to this conclusion because, you see, we started bastardizing our institutions with first the removal of Tokunu. And so this is very good for us as a country. I think that this protects our democracy because I think the president and his team, I'm talking about President Mahama and his team, they understand the mood of the Ghanaian people, in fact, even the international community. The removal, the kind of pressure that brought on us, the president and his team, I'm sure, and the whole architecture of our governance, you know, we've come to the conclusion that this is not the way to go. To remove the EC, and the other one was to remove the special prosecutor. You know, these are, you can say that one, fighting corruption, one, you know, vehicle for valid elections. So if you remove all these people, then it means that you want to run aground the democratic institutions.
Do you feel that the Chief Justice should be taking credit for this?
Well, I mean, you can say that because in the end, the law gives the decision to the Chief Justice. And, you know, when it comes to these decisions, right, you have to look at the idiosyncrasies of the particular judge. And for us as lawyers and law students, you know, there's the idiosyncrasies of judges, which, you know, eventually becomes the law. And so, yes, so long as in his view, this doesn't rise to the level that needs further investigation, then we can say that we can give him credit for that. Anybody who wants to take credit can take credit. The president, my brother is saying that, yeah,
yes, the NDC will come to
he wants to give a credit to him. Well, for me, I think that so long as this protects our institutions, so long as this protects our democracy, whoever wants to take credit can take credit. Because in the end, if we continue to bastardize our institutions like that, we weaken our democracy, and that is not good for us. If you followed me when this whole argument was going on, I said that, look, I'm one of the people who will not in any day support in 2029 when NPP assumes power, support the removal of any Chief Justice who would have been appointed by the NDC at the time. Because I don't think that it helps, you know, our democracy.
Okay, this is what I wanted. Oh, okay. I was crazy. So were you waiting for him to just bounce on him? So you're waiting to bounce on him. Oh my goodness. Oh, Solo. Back to the gents.
You know what? Bless.
Yeah.
You see, transfers.
But so now you don't decide who's
no, see that.
I'll give that.
The transfers is perfect. It's at the behest of the person who is requesting, right? That's not what we're talking about. Bless, you have not requested for transfer. And somebody transfer you. What does that mean?
But he says
Council, that's what we're talking about. We're saying that, no, you cannot. It's illegal.
It never happened.
It's illegal. If I don't request for transfer, an electoral commission have no power under this constitution to transfer me.
But you reported that to the electoral commission.
Well, I'm saying that. I recall. I'm saying that, yes. And that is what we call gerrymandering. Do you know what gerrymandering is? Not only electoral boundaries. When you are doing gerrymandering,
so if you shift the
demographic of the people to gain political advantage over your opponent, that's gerrymandering. And that's what they were trying to do. To shift, for instance, they lost some polling stations, constituencies, just over 1,000 votes. So if they are managed to dislodge 2,000 people from that area, they are going to win.
This happened in only one constituency.
Not one.
It happened in only one.
So how do you know that if the EC, how does the EC know that the 2,000 she's moving are for NDC?
Or NDC.
I mean,
no.
My brother, I don't understand why you
were looking at the figures.
Okay.
And we know why they were doing those kind of movement.
Right.
They were targeting Pusiga. Pusiga. They put their candidate there because they know that was a pliable constituency. And they could easily get it by moving.
Pusiga,
yes, Bono, they have about 3 constituencies in Bontang. They were targeting Time. They wanted to go in there. They were targeting another constituency in Hafo region. And they were doing it. So all these constituencies, they were moving. I'm saying that.
I get that.
These people, we saw through all their tricks. And we stopped them. That's why they lost massively in that election, because the gerrymandering thing they were going to do in that register didn't materialize.
Okay, so let me
quick one.
Quick one.
This attempt to create the impression that once the head of an institution, state institution is removed, it weakens our democracy, must not be entertained. It is the reason why the Constitution provides avenues for removal of a person. The person is not performing. There must not be any. In fact, if all of them are not performing and we must get rid of them in a day, they must do it. Because what's the point? You are put there to behave in a certain manner. And if you are doing otherwise, why must you be there? So that one, we must not entertain it. I would support, for instance, the removal of the Chief Justice. Tokono. The reason why people are having issues with this...
He says, I mean, we shouldn't be bastardizing our state.
No, but she is not an institution.
Messing up.
As an individual in the institution, if an individual is misbehaving, you take the person out and replace the person. We have a lot of people in this country. It's the reason why he is even a lawyer. He qualifies to be if he goes to the bench, he can be a CJ. You understand?
Oh, you want him to go for CJ?
If he wants to, why not? Wouldn't he be better off?
He can decide to go to the bench, then we'll come for the seats. We are interested in this.
So that you come.
You understand? So for me, public servants must not be protected on the whims and caprices of international communities who always write reports that we do not know where their interest or pleasure lies. It's not that they are doing any legitimate work. Sometimes they have a huge interest in that particular sector, and that person is protecting their interest. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, Blessed. Yeah, I think we should be very proactive in our constitutional development instead of being reactionary. You see, when Tokono was removed, there was a lot of noise about the establishment of Premier Fashi, the processes and what has to be outlined. You see, there is this unlimited room that is created for the determination of what constitutes prima facie. We don't know. So few people will go into a room, look at a petition. I think that because of what happened during the Tokono's case,
you feel there must be transparency?
There should be a certain consideration, certain guidelines that people can actually walk through, understand that yes, per this process. At some point, the woman was complaining that the outcome was not given to her. She didn't know what actually constituted the so-called prima facie. I think that for the sake of transparency and disclosure's sake, going forward, we need to make some amendment in our constitution so that there will be some clarity in these processes. Because we are not before a shrine where few people go into a room and at the end of the day, the decision is communicated to us.
I guess if you're a lawyer, you should know some basics as to what will constitute face value evidence.
No, you see, it is not for lawyers and it's not for judges. Ghana is not a legal community. It is for the people of this country. Because at the end of the day, if the people of this country decide to withdraw their trust and confidence from the establishment, it becomes useless. You understand? It is our trust and confidence that sustain it.
But that will bring the temptation of trying people in the public, isn't it? Not in public per se. Not in public per se. Not in public per se. But you see, Tokono had issues with the fact that the processes she wasn't following through. So I'm saying that if we say that we have established prima facie, then there should be a certain building blocks that you need to cross this, because if it becomes why we need the judges and we need the lawyers to interpret that for us.
There are no safeguards in the constitution. That is what I'm saying. That discretion that has to be exercised by the Council of State is unlimited.
I get it.
And there is no requirement that a Council of State should be lawyers. Some don't even have any legal understanding. But there are people establishing the so-called Burkina Faso, which is a legal requirement. You understand? So I think there should be. I am saying this because that was the concern Tokono raised in her argument. You understand?
Okay.
So I think we need to establish that. But because it's over, we are quiet until another issue surfaces, and then we become very proactive.
Okay, I get that. Maybe we'll spare the special prosecutor. Let's deal with the second.
I remind the special prosecutor that my petition is still pending with him.
Oh.
I petitioned him to investigate the vice president, the former vice president. He has done nothing about it.
Dr. Bawumia?
Yes.
The flag bearer of the NPP?
Yes. It's still with him. He must not pretend as though he doesn't have that petition. Very important. I spend my meager resources to do whatever I did.
Oh, Basolo, you have money, so...
I don't have money. I don't have money. I'm not in government.
You're an opposition figure.
I just left with government.
Just 1 year ago,
I was with government. Hey!
So why...
President Akufuado's government, I was with them.
2 years ago, you should be okay.
I have never been in government in my life.
I see. All right. Okay, guys.
John was all in government.
We'll spare the special prosecutor for today. Let's talk about this development. 8 Ghanaians have been killed, and I'll come back to the audience shortly. 8 Ghanaians have been killed. Unfortunately, they are tomato traders. They went into Burkina Faso, and unfortunately, we've lost lives. The minority in parliament is asking that, of course, the sector ministers must answer some questions. So let's hear from the traders first. Nana Poku is with the Traders Advocacy Group. He's joining us via Zoom. Thank you for joining us. We'll get to hear shortly from some of the addresses and exchanges in Parliament. But Nana, let me start with you first. You say that the government must act immediately to protect these traders because with what's happening, it might impact a lot of Ghanaians because now we need the tomatoes. We may not be able to get them. And kindly unmute for us, Nana, so we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, Nana. Yes. We seem to be having a challenge there. But here's what happened in Parliament earlier. Just watch.
The jihadists ran into the town and started rounding up almost everybody, especially the males, and targeting to kill every male just outside. And unfortunately, our traders with their team were in also that town, and they had to separate the male from the females. And unfortunately, went on the shooting spree, killing almost all the males that were there, and then pinning them together with the truck. And in this instance, we had a very unfortunate situation that we had some Ghanaian men, because the truck driver with other 9 men, with 8 women, were on this particular truck. And sad to say, we lost 7 of the men, and 3 of them got injured. 1 woman also got badly injured, but the other 7 women were not really injured. And the sad thing is that the area is still called off. I have been talking to my colleague, the Minister for the Burkina Faso, the Secretary for Burkina Faso, since Saturday. When again the incident started, the information was very sketchy. We kept talking together with our mission in Bogotá and the foreign ministers. We kept talking and been updating each other. And the south end is the 7 bodies are banned beyond recognition. And as of yesterday, we had agreed that they have begun decomposing and has to be buried. We wanted our mission to even go and witness the burying, but the south end is that it's so difficult to create a safe passage for even our mission to go there because of the situation. Because obviously the Burkina authorities managed after several hours to reclaim that city. So what's happening is that they will try with their military to create a safe passage to move those who are injured and uninjured Ghanaians.
To protect Ghanaian traders operating in high-risk zones. 2, full compensation and state support for the families of the deceased and the injured. Immediately
the president of Burkina Faso, General Ibrahim Traore, became a special guest at the inauguration of President Mahama. And I'm not saying it. Security experts indicated, Mr. Speaker, that Ghanaians were going to become targets. And indeed, these traders, Mr. Speaker, let's ask ourselves the fundamental question. These traders are not combatants. These traders do not play any role in the conflict in Burkina Faso.
If the Kwalugu multipurpose dam had been constructed, the women will not be going to Burkina Faso. When you take $12 million to do irrigation for them, do the irrigation. You don't chop the money. You chop the money and drove the women into Burkina Faso to buy tomatoes. And they went and died there. And you want to come and do politics in this chamber. The honorable member who is a majority leader is a lawyer. And he knows. I challenge him to come out with any evidence to suggest or point to a person who has abused any so-called man. Mr. Speaker, his party is in government. Where is their 24-hour economy? Where is the one job, 3 shifts? Sing it, Kwalugu, yes.
Oh, okay. Nana Poku is back. Can you hear me? So that's what our MPs are saying. Yeah, that's what our MPs are saying. Right now, they are concerned about the fact that we don't have the infrastructure. That's why many of these people went into Burkina Faso.
Thank you. Let me extend my greetings to your panel. Solo, I met you at the one of the hotels in Accra just last week. And I was actually pardon his shoulder of one of the things that he did.
What was he doing?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we are so.
No, you have
Tell him to declare
you have just exposed him. Yeah, Solo is.
Now, if you don't explain further, it will create a lot of problems. It has the potential of destroying my marriage. It has the potential
Solo was there for a particular meeting.
Okay. Now we understand. Yeah. Meeting. As usual.
I just want to express room 6.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's right.
Yeah, I like it too much.
Right.
Okay. You see, hearing the divide, especially with the opposition saying this, is quite unfortunate.
So today we just seem to have a challenge. Okay, we'll rectify that. Yes, we'll get him. But let me just come to you. You were listening to the debate on the floor.
Yes, it's quite disappointing, and it's good Honorable is here. I think that parliamentary debate should be elevated beyond the frontiers of partisan politics. Sometimes some of these discussions seek to, insult Ghanaians. Because you see, people have developed interest in politics. They really want to understand the issues. Young people are not interested in this kind of, low-level partisan politics, especially when the matter involved is very crucial. Yes. We saw what happened over the weekend. And I think it was an act of barbarism that must be condemned. And looking at what happened, there is no way you can justify it, because these are the acts of a certain crazy fundamentalist who hide behind religious cover to rationalize their ideological insanity. It's as simple as that. And this thing started about 2015 in Burkina Faso. It was a spillover from Mali. When it started, Burkina felt that, they were okay. By the time they realized the incursion had already happened, and that is where my concern is. It is just around our border. As a country, what are some of the measures that must be taken to ensure we guard ourselves? Right. Some of these things required cross-border collaboration. Ghanaian government and the Burkina Faso government, whether it is, military or not. Yeah. We need that collaboration to be able to ensure that we protect our borders. Because these are fundamentalists. Their ideological kind of mindset is a bit crazy. You cannot rationalize whatever that they do. They can just walk into a village and just slaughter people. Quite recently, similar thing happened in Nigeria, where some people entered into a village and they slaughtered 170 people. 170. Similar to this group, this JMIN group. I think in 2015, they slaughtered about 27 people. That is an offshoot of an Al-Qaeda kind of group, you understand? So we cannot underestimate their operations. In the sub-region, they've been operating. There are over Mali, there are all over Niger. There was this alliance among the Sahel states to combat this particular insanity that is emerging, but they haven't been successful because some of these people, the kind of firepower that they have unlimited access to some of these ammunitions, and they operate with impunity without recourse to law order. And because of their fundamentalist view, they think that a certain religious excesses must be used to whatever. But you see, we need to realize these operations and the thinking of these people, and as rational as we are, begin to, across the political divide, come up with pragmatic measures, how we can collaborate. Because when it started, when it happened in Mali, Burkina Faso started to look. By the time they realized it was there, this is the time for us to come together as people and ensure that there is a challenge or there is a problem on our border.
You just heard majority leaders say that if we had the Pologu multipurpose dam, this would not have happened, because his point is people would have stayed in Pologu.
No. You see, whether they went there to buy tomato or not, obviously there is always a movement from Ghana to Burkina Faso. Right. You understand? Yeah. So it could have happened to anybody. People can be going for conference and this thing will happen to them. And now if you listen to some of the eyewitnesses, some of them said they've been encountering these people for over 2 years. But the lucky thing is that whenever they meet them and they tell them they are from Ghana, they spare them. But this time round, they didn't. You understand? So it could have happened to anybody. So it's not about whether Paulugu, tomato, whatever, or whether we have an interior minister or a defense minister or not. These are not something that can be used to rationalize. The fact is that there is a problem, and our people are victims to this uncanny activity not by their own doing. They actually went there to trade, and unfortunately they become victims of this unfortunate scenario that's happened. The thing is that, what are some of the proactive measures that we need to take to ensure that some of these things do not spread to our path? And again, we can also offer that cross-border protection to our people, because it's all over the countries neighboring us, you understand? In the next 10 years, if care is not taken, we'll be having similar situation. There is no way to justify that because the president is cool with the Burkina Faso president is the reason why Ghana has become a target. No. So Ghana, we have a collaboration with the United States of America. They have a lot of bases here, but have we been attacked? You understand? Because America has been a target of some of these Al-Qaeda offshoot group. And so there is no rational way of justifying some of these things. I think that we need to have a deep conversation about some of these things. It is an imminent threat that must be nipped in the bud. If we sit here and do NDC MPP politics on such a sensitive issue, we'll be waking up someday and we have a whole village slaughtered. You understand? So I think that is where this particular matter needs to be looked at beyond the usual partisan politics that we do. It's quite unfortunate that such a discussion will be reduced to the sort of this thing that we saw on TV. That thing shouldn't happen in Parliament. It's very disappointing, and I think that we need to avail our mind to the key issues, because Nigeria is dealing with it. The things have even gotten out of control. Is the reason why today the United States of America has sent in their troops. They are there operating with them, because these people, the way they operate, like I said, there is it's some sort of guerrilla warfare. That is their methodology. So you cannot engage them on a battlefield where you do exchange. You'll be there, they'll just pounce on you and then they will attack you. This is a danger, especially to our northern brothers. I think that we need to work together as people just to ensure across the political divide, what are some of the measures, beef up security, and also collaborate, because President Mahama is in a very good position because of his relationship with the Burkina Faso president. The collaboration will be very easy, just to ensure that if nothing, I thought they will kill themselves over there on the border. We're able to protect ourselves because we are not.
But the minority feels that the closeness to the military head of state is what is leading to some of these.
You cannot rationalize that. That is cheap politics. Okay. Because you see, there is a positive angle to that, because his closeness should even help us with this sort of collaboration to be able to beef up security. You understand? Because if Burkina Faso decide not to collaborate with us, fighting this extremism will be very difficult. And if you go to the other neighboring countries, is it happening there because they have a relationship with the Burkina Faso president? So I think we need to elevate the conversation.
Okay, I'll come to Sula and the others shortly. Nana Poko is back, but this time around on phone. Nana, you were just going to make a point about how traders are feeling now. You need protection to go back into Burkina Faso, is that it? To buy more tomatoes?
Yeah, let me first touch on the political divide. if NPP know best, they should communicate well to the people. The pace NDC is taking them, I think they should start rewriting their books instead of sitting there and making mockery of traders who are giving in their best to help Mother Ghana, to debate on them this way. It's unfortunate to see some of them so highlighted people and coming out with such, What we are saying is that the happenings in Burkina Faso can never be justified, and I side with whatever the panels are saying. We traders will not go in deeper. We will leave it to the experts for them to find a way of making sure that intra-Africa trade can continue.
But
because without Burkina Faso and Ghana trading together, like I said the other time, tomatoes, we are going to have shortage of tomatoes in the system. If these women decide not to go there again, whether Palugu or no Palugu, we don't have it in the country. The unfortunate thing is we voted a lot of money for food and planting, whatever that so-called, the name. And those monies were squandered. Nothing, So what we are saying is, in as much as government is paving way for a better trade areas or whatever with Burkina Faso, we should do it here in the country. We can do it. We can do it.
The
we
minority,
shouldn't be limiting this one to the side of terrorism, whatever that it is. Let's have something in the.
But the minority is only asking. But the minority is only asking questions, isn't it? That you have 8 Ghanaians who have been killed. Someone should be answering for that.
You see, like I said, if they know the pace NDC is taking them, they should start rewriting their language. They should start rewriting their language.
What is it about the language, Nanabu?
No, how can you say, like what Okojo Upon Kruma said? This is not good. We should, you see, people have gone to, we've lost 7 lives. And you are not even being charitable of their wars, their children, their families. And you are at the parliament debating, this way. Let me put it aside. Like I said, we need proactive measures that will safeguard these women and encourage them. We need psychologists, those that will be going. We need proper security alignment for them also to do their business. Like I said the other time, we need progress. That we have to use the Burkina Faso for them to go to the hinterland and bring the tomatoes closer to Ouagadougou, so that they will not be forced to go to the hinterland because of pricing and what
All right.
Problem.
Okay, Nana Poku, thank you for joining us. It's just unfortunate the connection wasn't too good today.
Thank you. It's unfortunate that my network couldn't allow me to.
We'll find time to connect again. Thank you, Nana, for spending time with us. Let me come to John Naku before Sulu. He's just saying that your arguments on the floor of the House were not in good taste as the minority.
I actually don't want to debate this person. I don't know who he is, and I actually didn't understand any of the things he said. All he came to do was to attack MPP. I don't understand.
But he says you are trivializing the sensitivity of the matter.
No. When we were calling for bipartisan inquiry, when we were asking that the people who have been killed, okay, their families should be compensated. When we are asking that the people who graciously survived should be compensated. How can we be trivializing?
Yeah, but on Thursday, on Thursday, some of the members of your side were bringing in politics and partnership.
Who brought the...
For instance, we heard about the President Mahama being close to the leader, and all of these. Were they necessary?
Listen, it was I think Honorable Jinapo who brought this up, and you should listen to me. He said that some of the security experts have said that it is the close association. So it's not as if he was making this point as a matter of factly. He was saying that this is what some of the security experts are saying, and so that should also be interrogated. But you have the minority leadership talking about the fact that if Palugu Dam had been...
the majority leader?
Yeah, the majority leader and the members of the majority. How is this argument? And that's why I think I appreciate what my friend here said. It could have been any group of people who are even going to buy maybe meat,
right,
or students. It could have been anybody. So the argument of the tomato, the Palugu Dam, for me is completely unnecessary.
Was he not making the argument in the sense that if we were self-sufficient, these traders would not have...
Which country in this world is self-sufficient? Which country? The US imports, China imports. These are the two major superpowers. No country is self-sufficient. So let's not do this to ourselves. Okay, we all depend on each other. Don't you know that Burkina Faso also buys stuff from Ghana?
They do.
So what are we talking about? Don't we buy from Ivory Coast? Don't we buy from Togo? We do all these. The only reason why this is such a big issue is that we've always been aware that that part of our region is unstable. And so the security apparatus should have been up, okay? And at least if they had issued a travel advisory, it would have guided our people who were going there. This wasn't done. This was a security failure. This we can easily bring up. And the thing is that this is not the only thing happening around us. There's a lot going around the Sahel region. And the thing is descending, it's coming down gradually. It started from Niger and all of that, and we thought that, well, we were safe. Now it's upon us. Shouldn't we raise this issue for our president and our national security apparatus to really sit down and ensure that this doesn't descend any further? Look, already, you know our borders, our part of the border, our northern region is unstable. Right. You know how Boko is close to this place. That place is unstable, and you don't want these people to keep coming down, and the next you know, they'll be infiltrating our township, and this will be a major blow to our safety and security. We are raising the issue. What is wrong with that? And so I'm surprised when you bring people like
what
that
do you think
to come, and all they are doing is come, we bring them on radio and TV, and all they are doing is to just insult the NPP and lambasta for nothing. And somebody says that I agree with everything that the panel has said. What has the panel said? What has the panel said? So please, next time when we are choosing this...
So I'm asking that, why did the debate degenerate into partisan politics on the floor?
No, the debate started very well. It was an urgent statement read by my brother Safoje, but it was an urgent statement in the name of the MP for New Japan, okay, whose constituents were killed. And the issues raised were very simple. That this is a very serious matter. We express our condolences to the bereaved family and ask the government to set up a bipartisan committee to look into what caused this and to ensure that it doesn't happen again. Okay? And we also requested the government to continue to update its advisory, its travel advisory. These were the issues raised. It was after one of the finest MPs, our colleague Samuel Atames, started bringing this politics in, blaming Dr. Baumia for not building the Palugu project.
You don't want to accept the Palugu argument?
Because the point is that it could have been any group of people. Any group of people. And then we start blaming, and so that is where the politics was introduced. So if you want to tackle anybody, Rather, you should be looking at the majority side, not the NPP side, because we are raising critical, fundamental issues to forestall the happenings of this. And most importantly, to ensure that this doesn't descend further down to our borders. Right. These were the issues we were raising. So for you to come out and say that because NPP didn't build the Palugu, that is why our women went there to die. That means that you are actually trivializing the death of Ghanaians and the injuries they sustain. Because look, it could have been footballers going there, and they could have been easily attacked. They didn't attack them. It's, oh, you are the tomatoes traders, so we are coming to attack you. So that was completely wrong. Right. You understand? And in fact, even the speaker admonishing that we cannot be talking about Dr. Baumia, in this matter, because there are rules in the house when you want to read a statement or when you are going to bring statement. Yeah. There are some things you don't even see. So that is what brought the issue up. But I believe, let me round up by saying that we in the minority, we believe that our government, who we pay taxes to, must be very interested in our security. And for the people of Ghana, at least the advisory, the travel advice should be one of them. Yeah. And then when we engage in this bipartisan inquiry, we'll see what led into this, so that the next Ghanaian going to Burkina Faso will be protected. And most importantly, we should have a way of preventing this from touching our borders. If this is done, we will be fine. But until then, we'll continue to hold the government feet to the fire.
Okay. Rashid, here we are. The president is becoming very, very close to these military leaders in the Sahel. Some say it's a blessing, some say it's a problem, a challenge, a reason for which possibly we're having some of these.
Are we an ally? Is Ghana an ally? Do you know that Ghana was one of the founding fathers of ECOWAS? The AU we are talking of.
Yes.
Kwame Nkrumah started the matter. This job, 600 we are still. They are there. My colleague here, Honorable, he's sitting cooling in that job system. That's Kwame Nkrumah legacy. When he was preparing the ground.
Are you sure he has an office there?
Oh, yes. Okay. They have been given very nice, beautiful offices in that place. That's the legacy of Kwame Nkrumah. You see, when he was building it, Ghana had been the frontier when it came to Committee of Nations. These people came in 2017 and destroyed our international credibility. You know, do you know that there was a tension between Ghana and Burkina Faso?
There was no attack on Ghana.
A lot, several. I can give you a novel of it if you want it.
You can give it.
You know that the tension between Ghana and Burkina Faso. Remember our president then went to US and backmasked Burkina Faso. Do you know what happened? It nearly created tension between Ghana. The Burkinabe guys were furious about what he said over there, about Russians and all that being deployed in Burkina Faso. What was he trying to do?
Eventually, he went there to meet the leader.
He had to apologize because tension was brewing up. And you know what it could have done to Ghana? These are your neighbors, and you want to create tension between them. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama came. In fact, we are seeing the reincarnation of the proper Ghanaianness in this current president. That you cannot be an island of yourself. He has made peace with Côte d'Ivoire, he made peace with Burkina Faso, made peace with Togo and all that until this unfortunate situation came in. He's trying to bring in the Sahel group. They said they want to cut off from ECOWAS. See how they were handling ECOWAS. They nearly destroyed ECOWAS. If we hadn't voted these people out, I'm telling you, Ghana would have done it.
This is not what we are avoiding.
No, Ghana, I'm coming there. See, if you don't bring them closer, bring it back like how it used to be, and then you marshal forces to fight these insurgents, and sit down and hold yourself as one. They will come and run through the country. So we need them. That's why he appointed an envoy, a very seasoned security expert, Larabevlo Lati, as an envoy to the Sahel region, to look at this and how we can resolve this matter. This is not the first time they have attacked Ghanaians. This is not the first time. And we are saying that
they see with some of the traders. The indication was that 6 years, I mean, this has been running for 6 years. They go into the area. They are allowed if you are able to show your Ghana card.
Ghana card, they will let you go.
They will let you go.
Yes, they respect that. That's what we're saying. This one, you see, the insurgents, they are such that they hide behind religious inclination. They are different. They are not like the normal this thing that you are seeing. They hide behind your inclination. They will ask you certain things. When they see that you are still a Ghanaian, but they see that your religious inclination is not in line with what they are doing, that's what they'll deal with you. That's how they are. They are just different group of people, and they ride on motorbikes. They are in the tip vision. Before you say jack, they come out with their motorbike and they are misbehaving and run back. And so it's a serious matter. The president, His Excellency, took it up seriously. I said, no, this matter, we must deal with that matter. Because we have to protect Ghanaians. Ghanaians are properly protected under NDC government. I'm telling you. And the NDC government, that they are properly protected. Somebody will see, you go and say, when he was talking in parliament and saying that perhaps because the president is close to the Burkina Faso, you opened our airport and gave it free to Americans. They came in and they are having their signal. Nobody can even go near there, where they land and take off. When you are doing that, do you know the security implication for that? When the Americans are having problem with the insurgents, they are always fighting. You brought them here and gave them free. They are there. They are not paying anything to Ghana. And they are there, sitting down there.
How do you know you?
It's a fact. We've followed them through this.
You don't know.
Ask them. We know about it. We are in government now. I think they can hide anything.
Okay.
And then we are telling them that, look, under his watch, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Ghanaians will be protected. And we'll make sure
that's what we are seeing.
Of course.
That's how they are protecting Ghanaians. Is it not sad?
It has happened because of this problem of the insurgency that is going on.
Would you condemn the statement of the majority leader that, look, he shouldn't have said that because we don't have the Palugu Dam, that's why the people went in there?
Oh, my brother. We should rather be holding press conference to congratulate the majority leader for what he said. You know what these people did at the Palugu Dam. Go and play the tip of former vice president.
Who supports?
Do you know what? Vice president, His Excellency John Baumia. When he was asked what was the single thing he did for the northern Ghana, what did he say? That the building of the Palugu Dam. Have you gone to Palugu Dam? Have you gone there?
There too.
I've been there. That's my area.
Okay.
My jurisdiction, not even a block, one block.
It's not there?
It's not there. Nothing is there. They have taken all the money. Ask them, where's the money? Ask them, here. Ask them, where's the money? Ask them. That question should be told to them. Where's the money? They told them, and there's nothing in there.
Not even a single block?
Not even a single block. Go there. I said, you go, take your cameras and go there.
Are you sure you've been to?
Oh, my brother. I said, that's my jurisdiction. I mean,
nothing is there.
I've been there several. Look, I've went there to train party agents. I've went there to operate in that place. As we speak now, not even a single block is there to show that this is what we have done. Palugu Dam. Go, Bank of Ghana, Auditor General. The report is, I didn't do it. I'm not an Auditor General. It's public knowledge. The amount of money expended in that area, yet there's nothing to show at that place. Is that how we run government? And these people would have audacity to be talking about matters of governance. I'm saying that the judiciary is too slow in getting these people and letting us bundle them to this and so on. Because this money is free money. When we are talking of the cathedral, this one too is staring us at the face.
Yeah, but technically speaking, if we had the Palugu Dam, are you saying that we would have solved all our tomato needs and the need for traders going?
You see, irrigation, that place, that enclave, when you go there, it's good for, it's an irrigatable land. And we needed that dam. And because look, you see, onions and other thing. A lot has been cultivated around Boku and area because of irrigation and that thing they are doing. So this dam would have helped in that area because our people are good farmers in those areas, and to have reduced our importation rate of these tomatoes and all that. And they are not doing anything better than us.
You are in government. It's been more than a year.
And that's what we are doing. We are working on that. I haven't seen that the irrigation board has now been reconstituted and they are working assiduously.
Yeah. So you don't have a single block there too?
Well, you bring the money and we'll go and build it. Okay. Let them cough the money out.
Okay.
I don't know the people keeping the money.
So let me hear from you.
That's a problem.
Well, we can't run the government with this kind of...
We must be bracing up for more serious situations as a sovereign. If you read more, risk meanings into what U.S. is doing in Nigeria. You must not take it as though the United States of America love Nigeria so much that they want to help them to deal with Boko Haram. No, it's part of a bigger picture. The bigger picture being that, remember, France is the colonial master of these countries, the Sahelian countries, region. Mali, Niger, Burkina, Guinea. Now, they are fighting France. the imperialists, they work through different ways. They will not come directly, but they will use the outside. Remember, France and the US, they are part of NATO. So this whole business of we are going to fight Boko Haram is to move more of these terrorists to these regions to destabilize their government. I have said time without number that in as much as people are praising Ibrahim Traoré, I have said that he must return the country back to
democracy.
Democracy, he has to. Because it's the same reason they used to remove the constitutionally elected president. Remember, I started with Damiba.
Yeah.
He gave the assurance that when he was given the opportunity, he would deal with the insurgents. He came and the insurgents were rather dealing with him.
Yeah.
Currently, if you go to Burkina, almost half of the country is in the hands of the insurgents.
Right.
The very reasons that you use to clear the constitutionally elected president, the same reason factors prevailing. So you have not achieved much. I see a lot of people praising him, but they don't know. A lot of the issues are generated, AI generated. It's not what is actually happening on the ground. Because if you go to Burkina, poverty will greet you. It will meet you and greet you. So to that extent, he must take steps to return the country back to constitutional rule. So that ECOWAS will begin to work together. This is not a single country problem. We have to work together as well as AU. Because we are fighting with our enemies who comes in various forms and shades, creating a impression that they are in to help. But they are not in to help. Africans must begin to think well that our continent will not be developed by these people who had it for free. We went there as slaves to build the economies, but we do not have the opportunity of bringing them here as slaves to also help us. But rather it is in their interest that they always keep us where we are. That's the first part of it. The second part of it has to do with how we have mismanaged ourselves as a country over the years, using jargons to govern.
I hope you won't go to Palugu.
I will definitely land there. If you don't land there, where would I land? Blessed. How can we discuss
this my brother.
John, you didn't take part in the Palugu money. What is your
Oh, he's taking part of the Palugu money.
Hey, I have to look at you with two eyes.
So don't tackle the red.
I just want to tackle.
No, because it's a red herring. The Palugu thing is a red herring. He said he's going to land the I'm not solo you, my brother. I'm saying that he shouldn't be tempted by this red herring.
I will not even go there.
Okay,
the red herring.
Let's see what you say. Let's see what you say.
Lands in Ghana are more suitable and fertile than lands in Burkina for purposes of tomato. So, basic economics, you invest in things that you have comparative advantage. And that's why you don't need any major research breakthroughs to be able to do this. I think last week also I heard the president say they have given the tomato farmers around the Palugu area new, what do you call it? Improved seedlings, to be able to grow, to take advantage of the Palugu tomato factory. There was a reason why that Palugu tomato factory was sited there. So that you take advantage of the irrigation and then do the farming. We give money to human beings. For Christ's sake, Ghanaians to manage it. It's not as though they are sensible than anybody. It's by grace. Go there and invest in Palugu so that we will be able to be growing tomatoes in this country, to export some and to also consume some. Kwabrane has eaten the money. $12 million. And I disagree with my brother Tanko here. You are in government. This is a low-hanging fruit.
How do you know the money was spent?
The Auditor General said that so captured so vividly.
Okay, so that's enough evidence.
It's enough. And once again, it calls to question the basis for which the former Vice President went on air, live radio, to say that Palugu Dam had been finished. It was the greatest project that he had done in the North. Anyway, it doesn't surprise me if he can swindle the Bible with quotation, introduce his own verses. I'll make more Palugu. Psalm 23, 118, 22.
Okay, okay.
Are we done?
Yeah, I think we don't have time. That's it.
You have to take my time.
No, I haven't. So just learn from me. Just come.
You have allowed John to be intimidating.
John hasn't.
So we must go back. And beyond that, we import a lot of meat from Mali too.
Yeah.
our agric ministry must begin to look at all this, because in the days coming, I can tell, looking at the spectacle, I think we will have problems.
Okay.
So that we invest locally.
Okay, and I don't know, apologies to my studio audience. I'm not sure we'll be able to take many more, or any 30 seconds, maybe, yes, quick, be very fast about it.
We should look that way. I sense danger. Immediately, Ghana Armed Forces had a joint with the French army, because we know the France colonized those Burkina, Mali, and Niger, and then they are now having a coup leaders. Right. So I sense danger when the French army had a joint with the Ghana army. Yeah. I don't want to believe a president snitch. I don't believe he's snitching those countries. He's snitching those countries to France, because what is going on is very serious. And then we need him to appoint a defense minister. We need him to appoint a defense minister, seriously.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Right.
Blessed. I think this issue has gone beyond partisanship. It's high time we invest in our own agric sector, whereby our traders will be safe. The agric ministry has to be reimbursed with enough funds, because the money that will be taken outside Ghana, if we are to invest in our country, we are going to manage our own resources. At the end of the day, instead of importing, at the end of the day, our traders are going to be safe. And one more thing I wanted to add was that the issue of there is an issue that's outside these topics.
We don't have time.
Okay.
So yes,
Bless, thank you so much. I think that
give the opportunity to the gentleman.
I think that we need to commend the president for this, insightful decision that they are taking. They are engaging the Burkina Faso, and then they are making impactful decisions. And then we want God to bless the president, and they should continue in that way.
let's wrap up with you, the one at the back.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bless. Everybody, good morning, and audience. One brief thing I would want to indicate is that I hear almost all the time that let's not politicize an issue, let's not look. Politics is everywhere. It is actually ubiquitous. Even in the Bible, there was politics during the Passover when Jesus indicated that there was going to be a betrayal. So the simple point I'm trying to make is that let's simply allow those who would want to teeter on the tangents of politics to teeter there, but let's look at what the real focus is. As we've discussed across the table, we haven't seen what the president is going to do now to be able to forestall the increasing rate at which Ghanaians would have to go to other countries to go and import food staples like tomato and even onion. So there is a broader national issue that
we need to a broader conversation.
We see being tackled.
Yeah, indeed. A broader national conversation is what we ought to have, but that's what time will allow us here on Prime Insight. I'm Blessed Oga. We'll see you next week. Until then, let's continue the interaction on social media, and thanks for joining us. Apologies for not reading your messages too. We'll see you again. Bye.